Summerlin versus Henderson. This is a question that I get asked all the time, and it's probably a question that you want answers to as well, since you clicked on this video. This is a rivalry that dates back to 1990 when Summerlin was established, and it came in hot, giving Henderson a run for its money. And I think that this rivalry is up there with other big rivalries like Tupac or Biggie, West Coast or East Coast, LA or New York. So let's see if we can get to the bottom of this rivalry. I've broken this video into 7 key categories, and I'm going to give you all of the information so you could follow along and decide what's important for you in each of those categories. My name is Olga. If you're new here, I make videos about living in Las Vegas. I'm also a real estate agent. I've been here for over 10 years. By the end of this video, you're gonna have a much better idea of what Summerlin and Henderson is all about, and you'll probably have a better idea of which location is better suited for your needs. So let's dive right into this video with the number 1 category, and that is location, location, location. Okay, so I have to get one thing out of the way, and that is Henderson is its own city. Now, this is a topic of confusion among a lot of people, and a lot of people think that Henderson is a part of Las Vegas, a Las Vegas community, but it's its own city. And Summerlin is a master planned community in the city of Las Vegas. We're gonna start with Henderson, and Henderson was founded in the 1950s, and it is currently the 3rd most populated city in Nevada with over 300,000 residents. Henderson is located southeast of Las Vegas, about 20 minutes away from the Las Vegas Strip. Contrasting that with Summerlin, which is actually located on the opposite side of Las Vegas, on the northwest side of the city, also about 20 or so minutes away from the Las Vegas Strip. So if you're someone who works on the Las Vegas Strip, Summerlin versus Henderson isn't really gonna make that big of a difference when it comes to the commute, as both locations are about the same distance away from the Strip, as well as the airport as well. There's 3 distinct parts of Henderson. First is Old Henderson, where the city started. There's a lot of revitalization happening in this part of Henderson, especially Water Street. Then there's Mid Henderson. A lot of this area around Green Valley is master planned. Then we have the New Henderson, which is areas including Anthem, McDonald Highlands, Inspirada, and also where the Raiders call home. The Green Valley area and the New Henderson area definitely have a really similar feel to Summerlin, and these areas are newer and were also developed in the recent years. Before I move on from location, I just want to say that if you work in a certain part of Las Vegas, for example, if you work in Henderson, I recommend considering living in Henderson. And if you work in Summerlin, I recommend living in Summerlin. And I say that because the city is pretty spread out, and there is a lot of traffic as of recent years. There's a lot of construction on the roads, and it is taking a lot longer to get around the city than it used to. While it's definitely not as crazy as things are in big cities like LA, but it is definitely still pretty time consuming to go from one side of the city to another. Now, jumping over to Summerlin, as I mentioned, it is located on the west side of Las Vegas. It is nestled up against the Red Rock Canyon and on the edge of the Spring Mountains. Summerlin is 1/3 of the size of Henderson, as it has about 100,000 residents currently. In terms of sales, Summerlin is Nevada's highest ranking master plan community, and Summerlin is consistently ranked across a variety of lists as one of the most desirable communities to live in Las Vegas. In terms of location, I have more to add in future categories. So now let's move on to the next category, and that is the weather. Now, you might not think that weather varies between 2 locales that are only 20 miles apart, but it certainly does with Summerlin and Henderson. Henderson sits at 1,800 feet above sea level, while Summerlin sits at 3,500 feet above sea level, with some areas of Summerlin approaching 5,000 feet. And with that elevation comes cooler temperatures, and even some precipitation. In the winter, you will get an occasional dusting of snow in Summerlin, especially by the Red Rock Mountain, which you won't really see on the Strip or in Henderson. And in the summer, Summerlin does tend to be a couple degrees cooler than Henderson. So when it's 115 degrees, those couple degrees really do make a difference. Now, when I talk about temperature, I'm not talking about some crazy drastic difference, no 10, 20 degree difference. I'm talking about just a couple degrees. So if a couple of degrees does matter to you, then Summerlin might be the area to look at. And next time you're looking to go on a hike in the summer, or you're wanting a little cooler temperature, I would check out Summerlin and see what the temperatures are out there like. If you're looking to see some snow in the winter, you might want to head out to Summerlin on a day where it's snowing out there and just see for yourself the small differences in temperatures between Summerlin and Henderson. Moving on to the next category, which is dining and entertainment. And I will say that both Summerlin and Henderson score very high in this category. Starting with Summerlin, it is anchored around Red Rock Casino, downtown Summerlin, and the ballpark, and there's plenty of dining and shopping in all of those areas. Downtown Summerlin is an outdoor mall. It has great restaurants, great shops. I actually recently filmed a video in downtown Summerlin asking locals about what they love about living in Las Vegas, so check out that video. And a lot of people spend their time on the weekends in downtown Summerlin. It's a great hangout spot. They also have some workout studios. They have the farmers market on Saturdays, so it's a great area for dining and entertainment, and it's always bustling. Not to be outdone, Henderson also competes in the outdoor shopping and dining area with Green Valley Ranch and Galleria, where you can also find lots of great shops, lots of great restaurants, and it's also an outdoor mall where a lot of people spend their time. One main difference with Henderson from Summerlin is Henderson does have a really cute downtown area that's walkable with lots of shops, breweries, restaurants. It's on Water Street. That's very charming, that Summerlin doesn't really have. It's like its own little downtown area. As you know, casinos are a huge part of the entertainment scene here in Las Vegas, and Summerlin and Henderson both have their fair share of great casinos. In Summerlin, we have Red Rock Casino, JW Marriott, Suncoast, Rampart Casino, and while technically not in Summerlin proper, Durango Casino just opened in Spring Valley in November of 2023. And this casino is brand new. It is very similar to Red Rock. It is a station casino, and it is a hotspot for locals and tourists alike. Durango Casino is probably one of my favorite casinos to spend time in. I love that the casino has great restaurants. One of my favorites is Mijo. It's a modern Mexican restaurant. They also have the Bel Air Lounge where they have drinks, music. It's a nice swanky place to spend time in. They have a great pool, and they have just a lot of really great food and entertainment. There's a great place to watch sports. And overall, all of the casinos in Summerlin have really nice restaurants. Some of them even have bowling alleys or movie theaters in them, and a lot of Las Vegas locals spend a lot of their time in casinos because of all of these great offerings. When it comes to Henderson, there are also several casinos out there. The M Resort is a really nice high-end casino. There's Green Valley Ranch, which has a pretty similar feel to Red Rock. There's Sunset Station. There's a lot of other casinos in Henderson. One other casino I did want to spotlight is in Lake Las Vegas. Lake Las Vegas is a part of the city of Henderson, if you didn't know, and it's a really great casino out there. The Lake Las Vegas casino has a really great outdoor area. It's really cute. It feels like you're in Italy, you're on the water, so it's a really nice vibe out there. Definitely one of the cooler, more distinct casinos to hang out in the Las Vegas area. Overall, both Summerlin and Henderson offer so much when it comes to this category, dining and entertainment. There's just so much to see, so much to do, so many great restaurants, so many great shopping malls. And the proximity to the Strip from Summerlin and Henderson is about the same as I mentioned earlier in the video. So if you are looking to have more elevated dining, entertainment experiences that are on the Strip, you're equidistant from both locations. So far in this rivalry, things have been pretty close, but perhaps this next category will make a bit of a difference in your decision making, and that is cost of housing. I will say that the cost of housing in Summerlin and Henderson is higher than the average cost of housing in the Las Vegas Valley. The median sales price of a house in Summerlin in March 2024 was $598,000, which put the median price per square foot at $314. Comparing that to Henderson, the median price of a home there is $481,000, so it's coming in quite a bit less, around $120,000 less. That being said, the newer master plan communities in Henderson are gonna have a pretty similar price per square foot as some of those newer Summerlin communities. Now you can definitely still find homes in the 300,000s in both Henderson and Summerlin. You're just gonna have a lot more of those options in Henderson. Now, if you're an ultra wealthy buyer and you're looking for that multi-million-dollar luxury home, you might think Summerlin is your spot, but not so fast. Henderson also offers so many luxury homes. Actually, currently the most expensive home that's listed on the MLS at $34 million is located in Henderson. So if you're Taylor Swift and you're looking for a new home for your new Las Vegas residency, you may look in Henderson. There's some amazing luxurious communities. Same in Summerlin as well. If Travis Kelce is moving down, you guys might go in on a house together. I'm curious to see what that could look like. Perhaps Travis gets traded to the Raiders. You might find yourself in Henderson, as that's where the Raiders practice facility is. It's very nice, by the way. So Henderson might be the spot. Okay. All Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce jokes aside, you can find $20+ million home communities in both Summerlin and Henderson. Some of the prestigious communities in Summerlin are the Ridges, the Summit Club, while Henderson has comparable luxurious communities like McDonald Highlands and Seven Hills, and so many more. These luxurious communities have breathtaking views. From Henderson, you see the Las Vegas Strip, you see the mountains in the background. From Summerlin, you see the Las Vegas Strip as well, you see the Red Rock Mountains. So the views from both sides are breathtaking. So to summarize, if you are an entry-level buyer, you might get more for your money out in Henderson. If you are looking to buy in the luxury price point, it really doesn't matter. You get a lot of great options both in Summerlin and Henderson. The next category is outdoor activities, and Summerlin and Henderson do not have a shortage of those in both places. I will say, if you're a water person, you may want to look in Henderson because Henderson is much closer to Lake Mead and Lake Las Vegas is located in Henderson. If you love the mountains, both Summerlin and Henderson are great locations, but I will say that Summerlin backs right up to the Red Rock Canyon. So from some of the Summerlin communities, people actually just walk out their back door, walk out their front door, and they are right by the mountains, so they can go on their hike right outside of their communities or drive just a small distance to go to other hikes. There's tons and tons of trails, miles of trails. And also you're about a 40-minute drive to Mount Charleston from Summerlin. When it comes to other activities, golf, tennis, biking, both Summerlin and Henderson have so much to offer in this area. Both Summerlin and Henderson have private and public golf courses, some of the top rated golf courses in the country actually. There is public pools, there's tennis courts, there's pickleball courts, there's miles of hiking trails, miles of walking and biking trails. So the outdoor activities are plentiful in both Summerlin and Henderson. I will say in the outdoor activity category, Summerlin and Henderson are pretty close, and I would almost call it equal if it wasn't for the water activities and the proximity of Henderson to Lake Mead, to Lake Las Vegas. One thing I want to note is both Summerlin and Henderson place a big emphasis on parks. There are so many parks in both Summerlin and Henderson. So if you're someone that has dogs, this is obviously very important. You want to take your pups out, let them run around, let them play with other dogs. My personal favorite is Woofter Family Park. I love this park so much. I go all the time with my dog Calvin, and it's actually slightly on the outskirt of Summerlin. So I don't know if it's technically Summerlin, but it's very much adjacent to Summerlin and worth going there. And I actually will say I talked to someone recently who lived in Henderson, and I was telling him about this park, and he said that he was gonna come check it out. So it might be worth the drive. Moving on to our sixth category, a super important one, and that's safety. According to Forbes, Henderson is ranked the #2 safest large city in the US. A part of the reason for this ranking is because Henderson has a low poverty rate, low violent crime rate. As Henderson is its own city, it has its own police department, its own fire department, among other municipal services. And since Henderson does have a low violent crime rate, the police are fairly responsive to a lot of the issues that are happening around the city. Summerlin is also widely regarded as a fairly safe community. It has a lot of guard-gated communities that have a lot of security. The one caveat with Summerlin is because it's a community, unlike Henderson being its own city, it does not have its own police department or fire department. It shares that with the larger city of Las Vegas. So the resources are just a lot more spread out. I'm not gonna provide any specific stats because there's a lot of information out there and you can definitely do some of your own digging. But overall, Summerlin is regarded as a safe community with pretty low rates of any sort of violent crime. Just to recap, both Summerlin and Henderson are considered as safe areas, safe city, safe community. According to crimegrade.org, Summerlin gets a grade of A+ when it comes to crimes. Obviously, it's a really great score when it comes to safety. Moving on to the next category, and that is schools. Both Summerlin and Henderson, interestingly, share the same school district. It is the Clark County School District. While Nevada isn't necessarily known for its school rankings, but Summerlin and Henderson offer a lot when it comes to public and private schooling. According to data from greatschools.org, many of the schools in Summerlin are ranked in the top 10 across the entire Las Vegas Valley. According to Nevada Department of Education, Henderson has 20 public schools that have earned its 5-star ranking. In addition to public schools in Henderson and Summerlin, the private schools also rank very high. So in Summerlin, Bishop Gorman and Faith Lutheran are some of the highest ranked schools, while Henderson also has private schools. Its public high schools are the ones that rank really high, including Coronado High School. So between both Summerlin and Henderson, there's a lot of options for public and private schooling that rank really high. Okay, I wanna throw in one more category into the mix, another category that is super important, and that's employment. So if you're moving to Las Vegas, you're likely looking for a job. So you probably want to know what kind of employers are located in Summerlin and in Henderson. While both Summerlin and Henderson have a lot of entertainment jobs, service jobs, dining jobs, obviously there's a lot of casinos in both locations. And also both Summerlin and Henderson are equidistant to the Las Vegas Strip, where there's a lot of employment as well. Summerlin and Henderson do differ a little bit in what type of employers you will find outside of the service and entertainment industries. Summerlin is definitely known for having a lot of healthcare employers. US Health Group is based there, DaVita Health Group is based there, while Henderson has a lot of distribution and industrial type jobs. You'll see a lot of distribution type facilities. Just the other day, I was driving past the Raiders training facility and I saw a massive Levi distribution center. So definitely a lot of that kind of stuff in Henderson. Both Summerlin and Henderson also have a lot of new home builders, and there's so much new construction happening in both locations. So there's a lot of jobs within construction, as you can imagine. Okay, so now that we've gone through all of those different categories and I've shared all of my wisdoms and all of my knowledge about Summerlin and Henderson, if you're thinking about making the move to Henderson or you're thinking about making the move to Las Vegas into the community of Summerlin, give me a call. I'm gonna put my number right there. I would be more than happy to help you. I would be more than happy to answer any questions that you might have, any further questions beyond this video. And thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting my channel, and I will see you in the next one.